Hey guys, this is Chuck, and we are back in Planetbase. And this time, well, we are still waiting on more bioplastic to get produced. And it says we've run out of spares. So, I think a couple things I need to decide which one I want to do next. And that's, I'm looking at, was wanting to build some of these buildings that will improve morale, basically. And, like the bar and a multi-dome. On the other hand, we're not producing building materials fast enough. So I'm kind of wondering, do I go ahead and build another one of these buildings right now and get the production increased, or do we make those other buildings thinking that that's going to improve morale and maybe the people will behave better? So right now we're going to look at manufacturing limits, and we have medical supplies and spares. I'm going to drop the medical supplies down somewhat because we don't have that many people. We got 20 people now. So we don't need, I'm assuming not everybody's going to get sick. And I think that's what's been taking all of our bioplastic. They've been cranking out medical supplies with it. And so now we're still sitting on 0. And we're waiting on 3 more, 6 more, just to get this extra biodome built so we can start growing more food. So I think while that's going on, I am going to build another one of these processing plants. I'm going to put it right next to that one. I could make it bigger, but we want it to be able to get built rather quickly. So hopefully we can get some bioplastic generated here to finish these projects. As I'm thinking, if we can start overproducing instead of just trying to catch up, trying to keep current, but if we can start putting out more material than what we're using, that's going to give us so many more options when the trader ships come, that we'll be able to sell this stuff and start accumulating a little more money to buy those better blueprints and or even just replenish other stocks as needed. Like we get some more robots. Now we got more people came in, but a trade ship would not go amiss right now. Because let's see if they've put any more. No, we're still pending 6 pieces of bioplastic for that construction. And I just don't, that doesn't look like we're producing it quite fast enough. So we should have been a little more proactive. So if you're playing this yourself, think if as soon as you had the materials, you might want to put more of these production buildings down early. As long as you have enough food going. Now, we're currently not running out of food, but if we take on too many more people, like we just told, oxygen consumption exceeds production. And now we have a trading ship, though. That's good news. I don't have a lot of things to trade with, though. We've got a little bit of medical supplies. I think we're going to see how much these are going for. See if I can't get like 4 or 5 of those for maybe a couple medicinal plants. Yeah, it doesn't look like that's going to gonna fly. And I don't know, you know, the meat isn't worth much. So I don't think we're gonna be able to do much with this guy. So might have to remove a couple of those. At least we can get 2 of them. And if I prioritize this construction here, maybe they'll put those 2 on that construction site, and we can get things cranking a little faster over here. We also need to increase oxygen production. So, as we just got told that we're consuming more than we're putting out, so we can put another one of these oxygen buildings around here. I'm just trying to put it out of the way. I'd rather have it, you know, not like right on with all the other stuff. So we'll put it over here to still give us room for expansion going that way. We can still expand off of these other buildings. Now, I put a priority on that, and here comes a guy bringing, the other rice pad got built. Well, that was about darn time. Now, I figure if this thing can get built sometime soon, we might want to go back to landing permissions and turn off the colonist ship for a little while, because we're up to 25 people. The end goal was 100, but if you take on people too fast, they'll start getting hungry, and you start getting these nasty messages that, oh, Bob has died of starvation, and that kind of sucks. You know, you don't want your people kicking the bucket, especially just for lack of food. So, with that in mind, we are going to increase the speed here just to see, well, you know, stuff will get done a little quicker, because some of us are getting impatient here just watching these people run around. Now, so we still need 2 bioplastics for that construction, and still need 6 for that. That means we have produced none, or what are they going to? So back to look at the manufacturing limits, and there's still, you know, we're going to drop that down. I don't see anything else that would be using bioplastics, so we can't completely eliminate, you know, medical stuff either. So most of that's made from the plants. Run out of spares, oxygen production needs to increase. That means these people need to get the plastic to the construction sites and get that stuff built. Now after this gets built, that and the new oxygen generator, I think our next priorities, well, as you can see, we're already having oxygen issues now. And running out of spares, so we can't take on any more people. And this trade ship just showed up, so let's see if we can take some more of that, and we'll sell a little bit of this food and plus 1 money, and see if we can take 3 of them. Now that is 46. Yeah, that'll work. We got 3 more of those bioplastics. So our priority building down here might actually get built now. And this one here is waiting on a bioplastic, and let's put that as a priority. So those 3 I just got should go to these 2 construction sites. So So we should see our oxygen generator and our processing plant get built here shortly. Now, you'd think that people living in here would be thinking, boy, it's getting hard to breathe. Maybe we should prioritize that oxygen plant that that we're trying to build. But what do I know? You know. Now, here comes somebody. All right, that's getting built. Now, he's going to go ahead and build this connection. And so now we're just waiting on one more to build this. And hopefully... All right. Now, if I can get this connector built, then we'll start producing more oxygen. Now, that has got everything it needs, but apparently the guy that just came there is only a gopher and not a constructor. So now, are we going to start generating more oxygen? Are we going to have to slap another one of those down somewhere else? We're still having enough power. And I think this thing will eventually cycle the oxygen through. It takes a while for it to work its way through there, apparently. So it says we've run out of spares, but I thought we were still producing them. So yeah, we still have spares being produced. I don't know how we're running out unless they're just repairing stuff like crazy. So let's go to our processing plant and let's put some more stuff in there. 2 more metal and 2 more bioplastic generators. And hopefully those things get up and running fast. And we should start seeing an increase in materials being generated, and we'll be able to build things hopefully somewhat in real time as needed, rather than, you know, building something and then having it wait. Now it says we're out of medical supplies, but I'm going to put that limit up a little higher. Now we're going to check out the trading ship and see what he's got. But we really don't have a lot of stuff to trade. Although it looks like we're getting more vegetables, but they're only going for 5 each. Well, it depends on what this guy's selling bioplastic for. Yeah, so and we got rid of some vegetables, but it's kind of a trade-off. Now, if we can get more bioplastic on hand, we needed 5 more for that. Maybe we can get this thing built a little faster. And then we really will be in better shape because we'll be able to start planting more food. And that's, you know, our major needs, obviously, are food, oxygen, and electricity. But if we, looks like he's bringing materials out here. So now we need 4 more to finish that. And looks like we're okay on oxygen. It says we're running out of spares. Maybe we could put another, you know what, we're gonna put a semiconductor thing in here, an arms workshop, and another one to make spares. Now, that should you know, get us in a little better situation. Arms workshop has been built. So now, pretty soon we need to put that security office in there and a locker for the guns, because they're going to start producing guns. I need to go ahead and let them do that. We don't want an infinite number of guns, though. We only want, like, 20. Maybe even 15. Because you're not going to have so many guys running around using them. And they don't even use them too often, only if you get some bad actors coming off the ships that land. Which will happen occasionally. So, we're out of metal. But I've got another building to produce it down here. We've got 2 mines. So ore should be, coming in at a better rate. If we don't start seeing metal accumulate faster, we'll have to put another mine down. And so in fact, we're still waiting on a couple pieces of metal to finish this construction here. But we have a ship. So what's the ship have? Well, he's got some guns, he's got some metal, he's got some bioplastic. I'm going to buy a couple of those. And that's it. So we're really just kind of waiting for all of these things to get online and running. Then we're going to start taking on colonists again. We're going to change our landing permissions to allow them. I think we're probably good for that. But you can look at, let's see, base management. That's going to give us information on our power grid. Now, we're a little tight. Now, so far we're not having stuff run out of power, but that means we're going to think about adding another collector and either another solar or another turbine. Right now, we're producing a little more, but that's because we're in this windstorm and the turbines are really cranking. So we got landing permissions, you got your power grid. Charts, you can look at vegetables, meat, meals, colonists, power storage all over the place. Water storage and O2 we're fine on. Water storage, we can actually, later when we get more O2 generators going, they use water. Now for stats, prestige 61 out of 1,000. Status is good. That means we're going to still get, we have 5 workers, 10 biologists, 4 engineers, 3 medics, and 3 guards. So we got a lot of biologists. We maybe could need more workers, but with that said, as we advance, we'll start building robots. So we don't really need, more humans to carry stuff around in a mine ore. We can let the robots do that. And as far as bots go, we've got 4 of them. We got, carrier bots 1 and constructor bots 1. So tells us how many bioplastics we have versus how many are free, which means these are all going toward stuff that we have. Okay, we've got the other, got a biodome built now. Now we're just waiting on the connectors. And every time the storms hit, it knocks your game speed back down. So you always have to turn it back up. We got a lot of ore, and yet a lot of it's not been processed yet. So that tells me we got enough ore, but maybe not enough people to to move it around. So let's go to our landing permissions and allow colonists back in again. Now it tells me the lab is low on oxygen. So I think we're going to build another one of those. Maybe just build a big one on this end of the base and connect it. Oh, we can only connect it one way. Okay. Now, let's put some food in here. Now we want some radishes are good. Mushrooms, onions. I'm maybe going to stick away. I mean, obviously some of these ones are fast producing, but it says they're high maintenance. And I think they're talking about the food, not the people servicing that. They might be too as well. And we never do wrong with another starch. So we'll put that down for now. And we'll see what this ship is. I think it just brought us another person. So power storage is low. We got this oxygen generator going out here. Power storage is critical. So tells me what we're going to be, our next two focuses are going to be. We have a trading ship landed, and I need to build another turbine and another power collector. Some of this stuff might take a while to get built unless we have some things to trade for a lot of metal. But he's only got 2 pieces of metal. So we're going to trade for that. Now I wonder how much these robots are. Instructor bots. No, we don't. Yeah, he's wanting 42 just for what we have. These medicinal plants sell for 10 each. And there's so we'll just take that. I'm not above trading for metal to try to jumpstart our construction needs here. So maybe we will prioritize the wind turbine and the power collector. As long as the wind's blowing, we're fine. We probably can put some more solar down. And I've kind of wondered, I mean, with them making a sequel to this, which I don't know when it's going to be out, maybe next year. If we're going to have more power options, you would think, I mean, this is obviously some futuristic scenario here, that there would be some sort of reactors that you could build. Unless they don't want you trying to find, like, radioactive material on the planet. Maybe they'll just kind of come up with some story reasons why it's not there. But in a future world like this, you'd think that would be an option. I mean, Planetcrafter has nuclear plants you could build in there. So, gotta wonder if that's not something they're going to add on part 2. So we've built some of the food buildings in the new dome are going in. So we should be okay on food, but let's see if we can check food levels, manufacturing limits, stats. Okay, resources. Looks like we have enough food, and our status is showing good. And we have another trade ship, so come and see what he wants. He's not trading for much. We don't want to give away food yet. Little concerned about that. We do want money because we're going to need it to buy those blueprints. But we have to have stuff to trade for the money, and the plan is, manufacture, some of this metal manufacturing materials. What I was looking to say. But we're starting to get some food surpluses built up, but we still only got 3 meals. So that tells me in the canteen, and I don't know if there's room to put another meal maker in here. There is. So I'll go ahead and build that. Hopefully they'll get it built soon, and they can start making more meals. And the other thing we've kind of neglected is the bunk area. People having room to sleep. Now that's here. So let's turn off the Okay, had a pause recording there to take a phone call, so hopefully that doesn't look too glitchy on the end result. Now, where were we? So we're waiting on this other meal maker. And let's see what other statistics we can look at. Security controls, we don't have that building built yet. And we're still running low on metal. So we got to wonder, at what point can we start generating enough of it where we're not running low? Now we got a lot of ore, so the metal's not being processed as fast, but we're going to go ahead and put buildings in the queue just to try to get things processing a little quicker here. I mean, I built this extra building here, you'd think, and they're not even doing anything. Those rooms are not even... And we put these on high priority. And we need to maybe put these processing plants on a higher priority as well. Now, another trade ship. I don't know. See, these blueprints I was talking about. Colossal panel. 640 money that it takes to get that. And we've got 1. So we need to get a surplus of stock that we can start selling to these trade ships. And we're not getting that built up right now. And there's nothing that I want to trade away. I don't want to trade away food because more people are going to keep coming in. They're going to need to eat. We're trying to get a surplus. We're trying to get our production. So I've prioritized these 2 buildings here to start producing more materials and hopefully get these 2 built and get that built. Now, so all right, now we're seeing them producing some stuff here. And Now these people need to get producing. And so right now we're just waiting on, we've got 3 things pending, 4 things total. We've got the power collector, the turbine. We're starting to get low power storage. And we got another oxygen generator and a control room. Once we get all those built, we'll really be in, a pretty good position then to try to build up. And there we go, out of power. Because the wind stopped blowing. And so you think that by setting these priorities, and the people see that, what, we're running low on power. Maybe we need to get these turbines built. Maybe we need to start processing metal a little faster so we can build them. But people walking around in there low on oxygen and low on power, and it doesn't seem to kick them into gear any. So there goes another piece of metal being made, but I don't see this building doing anything. And so if that trade ship comes, I'm going to have to start swapping food for metal, because these things have to get built. People are gonna actually die for not building metal, not even processing it quick enough when we've set them on a priority. So I don't know. And I've played this before years ago, and I beat it on all the different planets. But this always happens. And so I don't know if it's a flaw in the development or if it's a flaw in me, not managing everything completely. And maybe there's got to be a more efficient way to set this up, going in, so that you don't keep having these shortages. Like that power collector is really running down, and then night hits and we're not having enough power built up. And I always assume that setting the manufacturing limits and prioritizing certain buildings would get things cranking a little quicker the way you need them, but it doesn't always happen that way. Now this guy is a general trader. He's not, well, he's selling metal. So we're going to take that and, well, 2 metal going for 46 money. So we're going to get rid of that for the 2 metal. And we could buy some spares. They're going for 15 each though. So we'll just take that and see if they can put that metal to good use and get one of these pending items actually built. So I think that's still waiting on 2 more. Now I know I went for the large ones, which take a lot of resources, and we knew it was going to take a while to get them done, but I really expected having 2 processing buildings, both on a high priority, that would go a little quicker. At least this time we didn't run out of power when the nighttime hit. Run out of medicals, but I've still got them being built, so I think they're using them up as fast as now what do we, all right, they're still gathering the metal that we bought. And I'll put them here and go ahead and build that. All right, thank you. So now we're generating more power, and as soon as this gets built, we'll be collecting more and storing more as well. Now we figure if these things can actually start producing some metal, we will get, all right, we're getting close on that oxygen generator. I think that's going to get built next. So see, isn't this funny? Even though we put a priority on this, the guy was still carrying materials to the other. But all we're waiting on is metal here. And that one was probably a bioplastic that he carried over there. So maybe I'm being overly critical now. Now let's see, that's a colonist ship, which brought us some more people. So that's good. Yeah, maybe these extra people can help, boost productivity. But productivity is going to have to increase in line with the influx of people, so that we keep everybody fed. Because if we bring more people in and we don't start producing more, more metal and being able to get things built in a timely manner, then things are going to go poorly. Right now, let's look at stats. Decent. We've gone from good down to decent. And that's because I think a lot of times it seems that some of the production isn't moving apace. So that's what we're waiting on, really, is this other collector, which is going to need 2 more metal. So we need 2 for that. We need 2 for this. And we need 5 more metal total. And every time I see these things, they're producing metal, and I don't see it going toward that. So I wonder how much of that is, we still have spares at a high rate. I'm going to drop those down really low. And because I think they're putting, we'll buy a couple more of those. So let's speed this up again. And see where those other 2 metal pieces go that we bought. Hopefully they'll go over here and finish this off. Okay, we had some more bioplastic produced and dropped off there. So now we need 1 more for that. I only got 1 metal left to build that oxygen. So really the 2 main important things are the oxygen producer and this power storage. And each one's got 1 left on it. And here's a guy running across here. What's he got? Alright, that's going to get built now. So now our power's probably in decent shape for the time being. And that means we have 2 structures left that we're waiting on supplies to get built. And make that 1. Now we're down to 1. We got an oxygen generator. We got some more people. So now we're better on power. We're better on O2. Now we're just waiting on the security console. And we have 1 piece of metal. So maybe they're starting to produce the metal a little quicker. I see both of them working here. This room still isn't working. Oxygen generator out of water. So we're constantly at that point now where we're just having to keep building stuff. So we're going to put a small, no, I'll go for a bigger one, water extractor here. And see if that doesn't get built quickly. But I think we're about to see this thing get built, the control center. So then we'll be able to put a storage locker for the guns. Be able to have them actually produce guns. I think we already set that up though. Yeah, we are producing guns, but maybe I don't need to produce as many. I'm going to put that down at a lower level. And that got built. Now we need an armory to store the guns. And we need a security console for the guard to sit at. Now later we can put telescope and radio antenna. But for now, we need a guard and we need a place for the guard to have his gun stored. So we've got that. We got the water extractor. And we have a trading ship. So he has got some money. I'm going to see what it costs to get all that. 119. We're going to sell... We're going to try not to run out too low on any one thing. So we got some money. Now we're going to try to do that with every trading ship. And eventually we'll have the cash built up to buy those better blueprints. So now we have a place for our guard. He's going to have his gun locker here pretty soon. He has his gun locker. We've got enough power. We got enough oxygen. People aren't starving. They're still eating. They still got food. So right now we're in a pretty good place. And that means we are going to wrap this one up. And we'll pick up where we left off when I next see you. So if you found this helpful or entertaining or whatever, you can leave me a like and subscribe, and I'd very much appreciate that. And I will see you next time.